Alright guys, welcome back to another video review, and this time we are going to be covering the Assassin. A class that is so devious and evil I can't even explain it myself because it is so freaking evil, okay? So, like, throw me a bone here, people. So here's the Assassin. It has two choices to dual wield. Um, Swords or daggers. Daggers are faster, obviously, but do less damage and have a higher crit rate, while swords are a little bit slower, have a higher damage and a lower crit rate. Currently, swords are kind of the accepted standard for leveling up, and even in PvE, they're accepted. I see a lot of people using a dagger as an offhand weapon. I don't know if that's to apply poison to the target more quickly, which I would assume it is because there's a couple of skills in the game that you get that allow you a 20% chance per attack to poison the target, so I'm assuming that's what that's for. Anyway, this is the Assassin in all of its glory with its construction worker helmet on. Cool. Oh yeah. Trust me, you get cooler stuff later on in the game. Oh, looks like I'm getting attacked. Time to fight. Woohoo! Fun stuff. So the class works similarly to what World of Warcraft would be, in that you get to pretty much carve your path into the enemy, so to speak. What I mean by that is you get signets, and what signets are kind of like what combo points were in World of Warcraft, and you can carve these into the enemy in a number of different attacks that are in this assassin's skill list. The first one you get is called pattern engraving, and it'll engrave a signet up to the level of 3, and pattern explosion. And the explosion is pretty much the equivalent of what oh god, what the hell was that move called in World of Warcraft? The move where you could use all of your combo points up. There's a couple of them, but it's just similar to that. You get to erase all of the signets on the target, and then that causes a certain amount of burst damage depending on how many signets you have and the level of each signet. The way that works is when you use pattern engraving here as an attack, it has the ability to engrave a level 1 all the way up to a level 3 signet on the target. So, and it kind of varies. It's just kind of a chance thing, and that's how that works. There's hide, just like any assassin would have, where you can go invisible and sneak up on enemies like this one that aggro. And it's got a couple of backstab moves. It's actually got a lot of backstabbing moves that inflict various amounts of damage onto the target. But the main way this class works is very positional. You have a lot of positional, poison, stun, and speed increasing attacks at your disposal. So, I guess for an example here, you have a maintainable buff that has an upkeep on it that increases your attack speed right here by 20%. There's another buff you get later on in the game that lasts for a certain amount of time that increases another 20% attack speed. And you got a couple of physical damage increasing buffs that only last for a few seconds that are mainly geared towards single attacks. So if you wanted to improve surprise attack, you could use these two buffs to do that. Other than that, there's a ranged attack that Assassin has. This attack is mainly meant to close the range between you and a target. Like, let's say you're fighting a ranger that's trying to kite you. You would use this attack to approach him quickly and do some damage. And that way you would close the gap and be able to get in there and stun and whatnot. And that way you can finish up and wipe the frickin' floor with him, as they would say. Or mop the floor with this guy. We're gonna mop the floor with this guy right here. So, other than that, Other skills to go over would be you have a throw shuriken, which is another ranged attack at your disposal. A couple of ambushing moves. Um, let's see here. You have skill chains that are really unique for this class. Some of them up here, like these, have the ability to engrave patterns in the target or signets in the target if you complete them successfully. Others will stun the target for a certain duration if you complete the chain. And some work if you actually parry an attack from the target. They become activated and allow you to start a whole new chain. And give you an example, if you were to parry an attack here, and then it would allow you to use either counter slash, which stuns the target, or whirlwind slash, which puts them in a spin state. And a spin state pretty much allows you to, they kind of like flip upside down and float in the air in front of you in a spin state. So once they're in a spin state, you can use another two skills that are in a separate chain here that either shove them out of the sky or gain you stigma and attack them from range. You have throw shuriken here, which can attack them from range if you put them in a spin state, or you can make them fall, which is that crazy cool move where you see the lightning ball around them and then you jump up in the air and hit them back down to the ground. That's what that move is. So it's a couple of ways to do some combos with the assassin in the game. It gets really fun sorry, later on, after you've passed level 30 is when the class starts to become a lot more interesting and a lot more effective. I'm going to give it a rating of 7 out of 10 for PvE currently, because this class is not PvE friendly. Anyone hoping to grind or farm with the assassin, I'm sure already knows that this class doesn't do as well in PvE as the other classes. So you're definitely going to want to watch out for that. And for PvE, or for PvP, I'll give it a solid 10 out of 10, just because this class was obviously developed for that reason alone. It can kill just about anything, even gladiators that are wearing heavy plate armor, just because a lot of this damage isn't defendable that it does. It'll do physical damage, and then it'll do an additional damage in most skill descriptions, and that additional damage is pretty much unavoidable. If the skill hits physically, it'll do the additional damage. So, like with surprise attack, if I was to attack a gladiator from the back, my 47 through 59 physical damage there would be reduced by the plate armor, but the additional 185 damage that I'd be putting on him would be non-defendable. So it doesn't matter what kind of armor you wear with this class. It can pretty much take down just about anything once it gets started and continues to stun you. So it's a very quick thinking class. You have a lot of different skills at your disposal, and you really have to act fast in a fight in order to get those chains and those combos off to ensure that you don't get hit. Because if somebody starts wailing their own chains and combos out on you, chances are you're going to die quickly unless you can get out of that situation in a hurry. So even for that, there's a couple of moves where you can evade and you can hide. So you have options at your disposal. So it's a really solid class, really fun to play. One thing I'll rant about is that the cooldown on surprise attack was changed during the Korean open beta. I guess it was a little too overpowered, so what they did was went ahead and increased the cooldown on it so that it takes longer to use. So if you saw a bunch of assassins using this surprise attack move a lot in the game. Chances are you're not going to see it as many times per fight because of that cooldown. So I would suspect there's going to be quite a few more nerfs coming for the assassin in the future. So just be prepared for that. If you want to play the overpowered version of it, I'd suggest getting on the open beta right now and leveling it as high as you can, because it's going to be your only chance to really see it in all of its glory while it lasts, because as we know with any MMO, things get nerfed quite quickly. So other than that, that's pretty much all I had to say about the class. Stick around, I'll go ahead and finish this up, and then I'll do another video review for you guys with the Ranger next, hopefully. So stay tuned.